What's up, Builders Club TV Nation? You got Dewan Jones here, your professional stay-at-home dad, and I'm excited once again, family. We have another amazing individual on the show tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Rashiid K. Coleman on the show tonight, family. Entrepreneur, minister, public speaker, and business mentor. Excited to have him on the show. Let me get myself on the camera, family, so I can speak to you. You can see me directly, and so I can tell you once again, thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you for subscribing to the Builders Club TV. This is just the beginning, family, but we're going to definitely keep bringing the value and keep bringing you phenomenal people doing phenomenal things. Again, this is for the culture. Let me make sure that our good friend Rashiid is on the show with us and he can hear us okay. Rashiid, can you hear me okay, man? Awesome. Let me get you on the camera as well so the family can see you, man. What's going on, Rashiid?
Everything, brother. Life is good.
Awesome. Once again, want to thank you for coming on to the show, man. Excited to have you on. Thank you for coming on to the Builders Club TV.
It's my pleasure. I'm really honored to be here with you. And like we just mentioned a little earlier, just excited for you ramping up and launching this new platform and providing value to a lot of those who otherwise might be lost.
Awesome, man. We appreciate that. And the love and support is definitely appreciated, man. But we want to get into it, man. Again, excited to have you on. Rashiid, if you've seen the show a little bit, you know the vibe here, man. We like to dig into the past of successful people, Rashiid, because, sir, we've learned so much, man, just talking to people like yourself. And we've uncovered or revealed so many hidden jewels, man, just when it comes to learning about how to be successful, whether it's working from home, just entrepreneurship in general, and really learning about the mindset of successful people, man. That's why we're excited to have you here today. So if we want to jump into what we call the Builders Club TV time machine, Rashiid, and we want to talk to you about your past. Can we do that, man?
Absolutely. I'd be happy to.
Amazing. So if you will, man, take us back, Rashiid, and tell us a little bit about how you got started as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's a great question. So this road began almost a decade ago, and I was working for Johnson & Johnson in research and development, and just really grateful to God for the position and the income. You know, was making some pretty ridiculous money as a young black man in America. And, you know, at that point in my life, I thought I'd made it. You know, I had done everything my parents said was important to do. So,
right.
You know, I figured I was living the dream, but just wasn't my happiest in terms of career and being able to have the kind of freedom that I wanted. And so from there, you know, I received a call into the ministry and walked away from that position with Johnson & Johnson. And life became very interesting, brother. You know, most people, they only look at where you are now, and they think that this is what they want, but they don't realize, you know, there's some processing that we have to endure to get to the place where we're enjoying any level of success. You know? So I walked away from that position, man, and you know, I didn't realize, Dewan, that of all the years, I was there 8.5 years, and of all the years I was there, all I had to do to get a substantial raise was to threaten to resign. And they, you know, they kind of like rolled out the red carpet and was trying to figure out ways to keep me there.
Yeah.
And you know, I just knew that I had to make that move and really answer the call on my life. And so when I did that, I was newly married, and then I found out 6 months into being married to the woman I love, you know, going on 21 years of marriage in December, and but found out we were about to have our first child, and I took a 45% pay cut, you know, making that transition. And so I began to look for other means, and I just knew an extra job or an additional job wasn't going to get it.
Yeah.
You know, so I've always been taught, you know, to leverage multiple streams of income. And so I was introduced to my first opportunity from a really good friend of mine through some friends, and haven't looked back. You know, got involved in direct sales, network marketing, and realized the price point, the entry point, the initial investment was so small in comparison to the upside earning potential that I had to do. It was a no-brainer for me. So that's where it all began, man. And then, the school of hard knocks made it all really interesting because I did okay, but didn't make any life-changing income in that first vehicle. After that, it's been really about learning how to honor and develop relationships with people who think in a similar fashion, that they understand in order to achieve the kind of life and lifestyle that many of us aspire to, it's just not going to happen through a conventional job. You know? So in making and forging some of those relationships, I found myself, migrating. I've only been involved in 3 vehicles since I got started with network marketing. I like to think I'm not a gypsy. I'm not just looking for the next big thing.
Right.
And each time I bought in on the vision. The vision of the companies that I partnered with made sense to me. It resonated with me. And so when I do anything, I go all in. You know what I mean? And so, now entering into the senior pastorate for like the last 4 years, my family and I, we've come back together in the industry, partnered with a great vehicle and leveraging it to the max, helping a lot of people. That's the biggest thing I think most people lose sight of. So many people are chasing the bag that they don't realize in order to get to the bag, you have to put service first. And so I've adopted that from scripture. It makes sense in business. Ethically, it makes sense to, the great Zig Ziglar used to teach all the time, help as many people as you can get what they want, and then you can have whatever you want. I really live by those words as a mantra of sorts. And so that's kind of the short version of how I got from corporate America to where I am now. And it's truly been a decision that it was difficult, but I certainly don't regret it today.
Wow. Powerful, man. You bring up a very good point, Rashiid, and I want to kind of draw back on that and talk to you a bit about that. So you kind of talked about people chasing the bag, right? And being, the money being the motivation, which is nothing wrong with that, but the money being the motivation, right? Can you point out some of the reasons you believe why? Because when you talk about, developing relationships and, having a stronger why and a bigger reason for going after the bag is very fundamental. But can you point out some of the reasons you believe most people focus on the bag overall in terms of before they look at anything else as to why they should go out and build a business?
Oh, absolutely. For most people, it's suffering that makes them believe that the answer is money. And to be honest, again, I kind of I live by some of these words. So Jim Rohn used to teach, don't set a goal just for the sake of achieving the goal. He said, set the goal for what the achievement of the goal will make of you, right? And so most people believe that going after the money is going to make them happy. It's going to, fulfill their lives. It's going to eliminate all of their problems. And they don't realize you really can't get to the level of income that you really aspire to, or that you hope or wish for, or dream for, or pray for. If you're a person of faith, you can't get there until you become a certain value, right? So that's what it is, man. It's suffering. Most people want to end their suffering. They want to get there as quickly as they can. And in doing so, they kind of put themselves in this vicious cycle where they're chasing their tail because money only follows value.
That's good stuff, man. Let's keep it real. Let's talk even deeper on that, because I think that's a really good topic, man. Because you see a lot of people out there, and they're using the money motivation as the promotion tool, right? And do you think that's kind of creating a culture that's problematic in such a degree to where you see a lot of people promoting the lifestyle, the money, the get rich, kind of vibe, which is, that's cool, right? But do you think that creates a type of mindset for people when they look at the home business industry? What do you think?
Yeah, to be honest, Dewan, I don't know if it's creating a culture. I just think that it is probably the fruit of the culture. So I don't believe that it precedes, this like obsession with getting more or having more, and people flaunting their cars, their watches, their shoes, their belts. Like, I mean, I think that's all symptomatic of people believing that these things are what make you successful, So I really think systemically we have to get to, they're only able to leverage these enticements because they know that's what people think they want. And Jim Carrey said something like, just kind of like pop my wig back, right?
Jim Carrey is the man.
Oh man, that dude he's on something else right now.
Yeah, don't sleep.
And I imagine he has been wild, right? But he said that he wishes that everybody could get all the money they could ever dream of, so that they could finally realize that that's not the answer.
Bars.
I'm gonna tell you, those words, man, are very powerful. So again, like you said, I don't begrudge anybody. Listen, money is super important. I'm not trying to downplay the importance of money in our lives, right? We need money to do everything in the society in which we live.
No doubt.
But when you make that the only reason, or the most important reason that you go after something, then it sets the wrong level of expectation. And many people, man, they get there and they destroy themselves because they'll do whatever it takes to get to the bag, and they'll compromise integrity, morality, hurt people. So the one thing that I'm grateful for is I've been able to achieve the things that I've had. And again, with the help of some incredible people that I'm in relationships with, right? But I've been able to do so without having to look over my shoulder with regret, because like the path to my success is strewn with all the carcasses of the people that I used or abused. Like, I'm grateful to be able to say that.
Yeah.
So that's it. I just think the culture has been here for a very long time, and people are just leveraging it now in this new context.
That's powerful, man. And I want to mention that, man, one of the reasons we created this platform, Rashiid, is to hear things like what you're talking about. And we've been blessed, man, to interview close to now 50 home business entrepreneurs. These are people who have done extraordinary in this industry, and I want people to I hope people when they watch these interviews, they're gonna see so much raw and real content that man, you're not really seeing in a whole lot of places. We've been blessed to have that transparency, man, and there's so much truth being revealed on the show, and that's been a blessing, man, because I really think that's what people need to hear, just the real raw truth. It's either going to motivate you or it's going to scare you to death, right?
Absolutely.
But it's necessary, man. It's necessary. So it's been a huge blessing. Let me transition a little bit, switch gears a little bit with you, man, and go back to your path. Okay, so you got started in this industry, right? You say you didn't really have too much success at the beginning. What was the process like when you started to have that breakthrough? What was happening in that space? That breakthrough started to happen for you.
Really just coming to an understanding of how to help people get out of their own way. What this industry in particular has taught me is there's no secret to success any longer. Like the secrets, if there were any ever, have been revealed time and time again, right? So it's really not about capacity for people. It's not a question of ability. It's never the question, can someone win? Can someone build it big? Can someone have extraordinary success? That's never the answer to the question. The question, in my opinion, is always, will they do what they know?
Mm.
And that's what prevents so many people from, for me, the process was really beginning to trust that the people who are most successful in this industry, who didn't do it by hook or crook, who really invested in themselves to become an exceptional value to other people, to the industry, to the company that they partnered with. Watching their examples, I started to see, oh, they really are about this. They really know how to get this done. And so then, you have to humble yourself and realize systemization is the key to success in any endeavor. When you're talking about business, systems duplicate, right? Charismatic personalities, eloquent speakers, powerhouses that, they just show up like a positive whirlwind, and you see people move into their rhythm, right? But that doesn't work for everybody. So you've got to have systems in place that people can duplicate and follow some very simple and teachable steps. And once I mastered that, getting out of my own way and then helping other people get out of their own way, that was the turnaround. Things really started to click because we were able to start duplicating that success over and over again.
That's good. You mentioned like systems duplication and things like that. I want to ask you a question, talk to you a little bit about social media, the internet, this new era, this information age, this content heavy environment that we're experiencing right now. How do you think that's changed like network marketing these days? How do you think network marketing is different from the last 20 years now that we have social media and things like that?
Much different. And I believe that this is a part of an evolution, perhaps. The only caveat that I see, the caution that I would probably want everybody to hear if they see this, or when they see this, is it's not the only way to build your business in this industry, right? So I do believe this is network marketing 2.0 when it comes to the integration of social media. I believe there is no way around it, but I believe that you have to be able to work online to get you offline, right? It's not going to replace the importance of real connection on an interpersonal and human level, So I believe social media is going to be the funnel or the net, if you will. And then you're going to have to be able to still master the skills. We called it back in the day, belly to belly building, where, you're face to face with your new partners, with your growing organization, developing new waves of leaders in an ongoing fashion. So there's no way around social media. My sister and I, the incomparable Nina Moore, we were just talking earlier. She sent me a post, and she was just talking about how powerful social media is. She's leveraged social media in a way I don't really understand. I'm gonna be honest. These grades are real. They're legit. Like I'm kind of an old head now. So there's a lot of it I don't get, but what I do get is it's here to stay. It's where things are going. So we all, if we're going to continue to be successful at helping other people, we're going to have to understand enough to show people how to leverage the technology to their advantage.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. Nina Moore is you said your sister?
Yeah, that's my one and only blood sister in the world.
Oh man, we love Nina Moore, and tell her, you make sure you tell her that we need her on the Builders Club TV show. We love tell her that we need her on the show. We love Nina Moore, and you're right, man. I think she's one of the best when it comes to translating that real person to person, digital belly to belly online. She really shows the real. You know what I mean? So we definitely we love that about her, man. She comes across like a very real person online, and that's
no doubt.
That takes a real skill set. But man, let's talk about now that you acquired some success, and you still entrepreneurs are never really done chasing the dream. We're always building and adding on, right? But you've created some success in your industry. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about now that you've created that success, looking back on all that you had to do and now enjoying the lifestyle? What is that like?
Oh, it's to be honest, it's stress relieving.
Mm.
Like this is a big woosah. When you have the kind of additional discretionary income that surpasses most people's annual income, it relieves a great deal of stress. So I'm pretty sure you're aware, Dewan, like when the housing crisis bubble burst in '08.
Yeah.
People who were losing their homes, if they would have only had an additional $200 to $300 income a month, they wouldn't have lost their homes. You know what I'm saying? So if you think about it from that vantage point, then the fact that I do this part-time, because I'm a full-time pastor, I have 2 other businesses that are in their build phase as well, outside of network marketing or direct sales, and I can do this part-time and create a viable and sustainable, substantial passive income. It's life-changing, brother. Like, you can breathe easier when things come up in your life. You're not stressing about having to rob Peter to pay Paul, or taken from something else that's super important to patch this up here for the moment. Like, so it's stress relieving, man.
That's amazing, man. Do you think it's important, because you mentioned the average person, $500 a month, $1,000 extra a month would do so much in their household, but you don't really see much of that being talked about or preached about or promoted more than you see, the life-changing possibilities and things like that. I love that too. I think it's very necessary to show people a full range of possibilities when it comes to this industry. But I think that part where you just mentioned is neglected, and it's a very powerful part of the reality of this industry. An extra $500 a month, an extra $1,000 a month could be life-changing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I totally agree with you, Dewan. I think that's the greatest disservice many people have done to this industry and in this industry, is we overemphasized the smallest percentage of successful people possible.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
See what I'm saying? So the largest percentage of success in our industry are those who are adding an additional $200 to $500 a month to their family's income, right? And all I can think of is, let's say, a leader of a household is earning an extra $300 a month. That's taking care of a lot in that home, in passive residual income. So let's say, if people have cable is super expensive. So if you're running a business like this in this industry and you're able to net $300 additional income a month for part-time work, you just took care of that bill easily. You know what I'm saying? So that's life-changing for somebody, because now that's $300 they can use to save or to pay off some debt or to put their kids in those dance classes that their kids have been wanting to. Or if you got athletic kids and they need gear or they need to pay fees to get into leagues, like, you can do that by taking care of that essential bill with your earnings from your small but part-time business. Like, that's exceptional, man. So that's what we do. We try to highlight and focus on that largest percentage of network marketers who they may not be on shows and all, but they're changing their lives and they're experiencing the same level of stress relief that I am on an emotional level. You see what I'm saying? Because they're able to do some things that otherwise they would have the additional stress of telling their kids no, or having to make up a story when they get one of those phone calls. Like, so it's powerful, man. That's who I'm hoping will see this, and that they'll understand you can get to the big money. You really can. You can. But let's set the expectations more correctly and show people this industry is made up of more people who are doing it on a small level, but it's very big in their life experience.
Right.
That's what I think we need to focus on.
That's probably it's levels, man. Man, can you go ahead and give out your social media, Rashiid, and website or anything like that? The family can get in touch if they like.
Sure, absolutely. You can get at me on IG at Rashiid K Coleman. Same thing on Facebook, Rashiid K Coleman. I spell Rashiid Rashiid. I always use my middle initial because I have a nephew that's named after me also. And you can check out my website. It's 4 regalliving.com. And feel free, drop me a line. I'm always happy to connect with other progressive and positive people. Dewan, definitely giving you love, brother, for what you're doing. I know that this is going to blow up, and you'll be amongst the greats who have interviewed. When you name that you already interviewed like 50 people, I immediately thought of Napoleon Hill. You know what I'm saying? And that's how he built his entire empire, and his reputation is for having interviewed the 500 most powerful, wealthy, and important people throughout the history of American economics, business, and life. So you're on your way, brother. Stay the course, man. Really appreciate you inviting me on the show today.
I appreciate it, man. And again, family, this is for the culture. And I know so many people are getting value from this because, like I said, there's been some very powerful people like yourself who have been on the show and have poured into us, man. And we're just blessed to have you. We appreciate you, man. Before we let you go, Rashiid, we got a new game that we play on the Builders Club TV show. And, believe it or not, you're going to be the first person to debut this game. You're going to be the first person to play this game. And
all right.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It's called we call it a word of advice with a mentor. Okay, a word of advice with a mentor, and we're basically going to give you a few words, Rashiid, and you'll quickly give us a word of advice using that word. You got it?
Okay.
It's real fun. So let's get it, man. A word of advice, family, with Rashiid Coleman. First word is belief.
Well, I'm going to quote Napoleon Hill. If you can perceive it and believe it, you can achieve it.
Awesome. The next word is now.
Do it now.
Awesome. The next word is tomorrow.
Plan for tomorrow, but live today like you don't have tomorrow.
Amazing. The next word is people.
People are everything.
Oh, awesome. Last word we got for you is forever.
Live with integrity forever.
Amazing. You killed it, man. We appreciate you for playing the game. A lot of value going to come from that. You killed it, man. The first person to play the game. We're going to keep that going, man. But we definitely appreciate you for coming on to the show. We definitely got to have you back, man. We got a few other series that we're going to debut. One coming soon, Rashiid. It's called A Day in the Life. It's the lifestyles of the rich and famous for the network marketing industry. It's lifestyle meets personal development, where we basically, we follow you like a virtual field trip where we take a few minutes to talk with you. You could be, out eating, you could be out shopping, you could be at home, you could show us the books that you read. Any value that you want to give and share, you can do that on this series. We definitely want to have you back for that, man.
Awesome. I'll look forward to it, brother.
Awesome. Glad to have you on the show. Builders Club TV family, Rashiid K Coleman. See you next time. Peace.